Guitar Stories Podcast, your #1 show for everything guitar.
Hey everybody, hi Dan!
Hey Andy, hello everyone. And welcome to episode 52 of the Guitar Stories Podcast.
Insane, we've made it to over 51. I mean, 51 was my goal, if I'm honest, but to get to 52 is one more than I wanted to do. We've got some friends here from the chat, because I've just been premiering a video with Ryan from 60 Cycle Hum over on their channel, and
Nice.
yeah, they've all popped over to us. So welcome if you've just seen me messing around in Henning's garden watching Glenn Fricker have a massage whilst playing some Ibanez headless guitars.
Oh wow. There you go.
Yeah. So Dan, how are you, my friend?
I'm good. Excellent. Having a good time. We have a very special guest here currently in Germany. Kranar is here for some business reasons. So yeah. I cannot like
Kranar Chilku from the chat and his YouTube channel.
Yeah. Le Kranar from Le Chat and yeah.
My goodness.
Couple things to do throughout the next couple days. So
okay, that sounds interesting.
That's his excuse for being absent tonight.
Wait, you mean he's actually not going to turn up? He's not got internet wherever he's staying?
I don't know. He's probably just enjoying a pizza with his girlfriend. So you know.
Oh, okay. Oh, that's fair enough. Pizza's the right
Pizza
excuse
with
for
girlfriend.
anything.
Guitar Stories Podcast.
Comes a close one.
It's close. Yeah, I know.
It's close. It's close. I hear you have some. Do you want to share your personal news this week? About
like the FU news, like the bad news.
The bad news, yeah.
Yeah. I crashed my car.
On the show?
Yeah, why not? I mean, I crashed my car. Yeah. So I was silly, like trying to pick up stuff, and then I hit a road. What's that called? Road blockade or something. So construction site kind of thing, and you know everything blew up and blah blah. So I'm not injured, so I'm fine, which is good. But my car is like almost totaled, which is a bit of a bummer. But lazy me, it was still having like full insurance running, so I was paying like way too much. But now it kind of paid off that I'm lazy, so I'm getting the car repaired, and hopefully like in 2 weeks from now I'm back driving in my white Ibanez Passat.
Firstly, I'm very happy you're okay. Obviously, I already knew that, but I'm sure I speak on behalf of most people here. We're glad that you're healthy and well. But also, I think the moral of your story is be lazy. I love the fact that you forgot to cancel your.
The moral is no. The moral of my story is don't pick up any stuff. If something drops in your car, just focus on the street, and yeah. But the thing here, we're here in Franconia, and it's very foggy in the morning. And the construction site, the lights were already off, and like I could barely see anything in the distance. So those like 3 seconds, they cost me several hundred or $1,000 basically. And that's a pain in the neck. But anyways, I'm okay, and it's just a car.
I'll give you 2 stories that will make you feel better, and anybody that's also crashed their car, make them feel better. Number 1, I once sneezed and drove the wrong way around the roundabout in England and drove into a taxi who was going the correct way around the roundabout. I went, I went, I don't know how I did it, but it happened. I was coming home from my first gig with a new band as well. That was awful. Second one, my mum did a similar thing to you, and she picked up a Chinese takeaway from the takeaway place, and then the curry sauce or whatever it was started to tip over in the front seat of the car, and she went to save it, and in doing so, turned the wheel and drove into a wall. Yeah, so what I'm trying to say is we all do it, Dan, and I just yeah. Maybe if you, listener, have done it recently, or viewer, then you can join in and let us know that how much fun it is that feeling you get when you do it and you're okay, and you think, oh no, nuts.
Rafa from Fredlook just said that someone crashed his car today. So I'm sorry to hear that, Rafa.
Oh no.
I hope you're okay.
It's not a requirement to watch the show. Everybody, calm down. Stop crashing your cars.
Yeah, I guess we all should gather and get a ticket to Chile and get a couple driving lessons from Valeria.
Yeah, save Dr. Dan. That's a t-shirt.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, I'm very excited about the show tonight because it's my first real day back in the world of guitar because I've been renovating my kitchen / dining room / living room, and that is not the person I am. The person that was doing that job, which involved power tools and chemicals and respirator masks and a really powerful vacuum cleaner, that's not me. That's I don't know, but you may have seen on my social media that I was very dusty this weekend,
Mm.
and I can't. I have massive forearms now from the
Mm.
swole from the pump that I got from holding a power tool for hours on end. But
Yeah.
I don't want to do that anymore. I currently hold a pick like it as a fist. I can't hold it like with the finger. So I'm hoping to get back to guitar playing tomorrow.
Oh. But
Yeah.
like from 0 to 100, like how far are now with the whole renovation process? It's like
Everything's out now.
okay.
So all this, it's just an empty shell of a room. Yeah, it's just an empty shell now with no floor. Like there's a floor, but no tiles on the floor, no tile adhesive,
Mm-hmm.
no cupboards, nothing. I knocked down a wall as well, which feels amazing. I recommend that there should be like these classes for like stressed musicians and stuff. If you're feeling stressed about your new release or whatever, that you go and get to knock a wall down with a sledgehammer.
Yeah. I think in Germany there are a couple
amazing.
places where you can actually like kind of destroy cars, old cars and stuff like that. So you get like a big sledgehammer and then you can just do whatever you want. So it's for
We just
stressed
combined
managers.
our 2 weeks, Dan. Our 2 weeks have now combined in that one activity. Dan don't need no sledgehammer.
No. All right. And the Dust Vader, yeah, that was pretty lovely.
Dust
you
Vader,
look like
I thought that was pretty good.
Yeah.
I've got to give mainly credit to Valeria for that. She she did that. What is this, a home renovation podcast? No.
Welcome to
we're
Tool
just
Time.
catching up. Sorry, everybody. Arr, arr, arr. We've got some picks of the week. Dan, would you like to do your pick of the week, sir?
Oh yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
Dan's pick of the week. Dan's pick of the week.
There's
Wow.
one.
What is that?
It's your pick of the week, mate. I'm not going to spoil it for you.
All right. So for everyone who's listening on the podcasters, this is the just introduced Ibanez Japan exclusive Iceman ukulele. And you know the original black one has been around for like 2 or 3 years already, and that was already well received. But damn, I'm in love with those colors. We've got candy apple red on the screen. You see now, what's it called? Some sort of royal blue finish. Then we have a metallic gray sunburst, which is almost like a silver burst. If you're into silver burst Les Pauls, that's pretty much the same style. And also the candy apple red. That's nice. And what I'm digging about those, they look like grown-up guitars. Kind of, they don't necessarily look like an ukulele, especially if you take like the back view. If you only see the images, that could be like a real acoustic. And I was kind of intrigued by the idea of not just having a ukulele, but also having like a proper Iceman acoustic. How's that?
I have a confession to make, Dan.
Okay.
When you sent me these photos so that I could put them into the program so we could show them tonight, I didn't notice till embarrassingly late that it was a ukulele, not a guitar. I was just lining them up in the program, and then I went, my brain went, and then it was obviously ukuleles. I was just so in love with that red finish. What is the name of that red finish, sir?
That is candy apple red.
That is candy apple red. Okay. Oh, it's gorgeous, dude. And if anyone's listening to this, go and check out either Dan's Instagram or somewhere. Google Ibanez ukulele candy apple red, because I don't know why, but I love it. I love it.
You know, I'm a ukulele player in my spare time, so I could totally like use one of these. But like I said, imagine this in like full scale as an acoustic 6-string.
Yeah, I'd rock that. I also have to counteract this by saying that I once played like a patchwork Ibanez Tallman acoustic, and it was the worst looking guitar I've seen at that point. It was just like way before I was, into all this sort of reviewing stuff. It was just as a guitar player, I thought, what the heck is that? So that's counterbalancing the fact that I really, really dig this. This is beautiful. As an acoustic, I'd play that. I'd busk with that.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, the Tallman acoustics, they are
Artie
rather
Smudge.
popular.
Sorry, Artie Smudge, I want to rock and roll all night and ukulele every day. So I know the Tallman acoustics are very popular, but this was like, I don't know what it was, but it was like they found some pieces of scrap wood and threw it all together and made a top out of it. Apologies to Ibanez.
All good. Yeah. So which color would you pick if you were
Candy
you were
apple
to
red,
pick one?
without a shadow.
Candy
as
apple
far
red?
as I'm concerned, the other ones do not exist.
All right.
The other ones, the blue doesn't appeal to me at all.
Okay.
It just doesn't. The red is so gorgeous. However, I have a question about what is the color of that? The silver burst one?
The name of the color? It's metallic gray sunburst.
That's not a color. It's silver burst.
Yeah, but you know how things are. Fender didn't call it Tequila Sunrise Gradation either on their new Fender Mexico Strats, right?
Touche, my friend.
Yeah.
I know.
Cool.
It's just, I kind of like that. I can see that selling a lot, but for me, it's candy apple red all day long, and every night.
Yeah, I mean it's
Valeria
tenor
also
shape.
like silver burst.
Okay, there you go.
Ukulele Whale says they need to make it in purple burst.
Purple burst, nice. I also
Alexis
like the idea
Guitar
of a flame.
says, sorry, it's so cool. He already makes it his buy for buy, borrow, or burn. Wowee.
Nice.
Dan, please fill us on specs, namely the price, please.
Is this the only spec that you're interested in?
That's the only one I care about right now, because
it would be around like 260, 70-ish. It kind of depends, with everything that's going on. I don't know how stable the prices will be throughout the next couple months. So like 250, maybe add a couple euros because containers are so expensive at the moment. So let's say 270, then you're in the safe ballpark. Yeah, it's a spruce top. It's laminated spruce top and Okume becken sides. You've got a Purple Heart bridge and fretboard, Okume neck. So they are solidly made, and they come with a pickup already. I think they're using the AEQ pickup that's also been used in a couple of acoustics with onboard tuner. So you're ready to gig with these beasts. Actually, there's a funny story. One of our reps for Ibanez in Germany, in the north of Germany, he's having a metal band, and for some like special instances or special occasions, he's like pulling out his black Destroyer ukulele, and in that context, it's just ridiculously funny.
I've just realized how small that's going to look on me.
Yeah, that would look amazing. I mean, like a toy.
I'm going to have to try that out. I'm going to have to take that busking because that just sounds like fun. Oh, my one light has died already. I'm in darkness already. Okay. I think that's a strong contender for this week's buy at that price. I know it's an Ibanez product, but I think that would definitely be my pick, even though it's not even a guitar.
Yeah. Agreed. I mean, I was blown away by these two. I just find them so cute, and I imagine my girls also playing with that. How hilarious would that be? Like my 5-year-old.
There's some more pictures. Yeah, exactly.
Look at the bag. How sexy is that, right? The bag is
sexy.
Also almost like candy. I mean, it's called candy apple red, but the color and the curves and everything. It's like a proper Iceman just being shrunken down to ukulele size. So
yeah,
I'm digging that.
Okay, yeah, I'll allow that.
All right, cool.
Do you want to go to your next one?
Absolutely. Paul Reed Smith released a new guitar, and I think it's been 50 years since the landmark Santana album, Abraxas. Yeah, Abraxas. And they announced a special edition guitar with the album cover on top of that. And that's a limited edition, which comes in 1,000 pieces. And so they're commemorating the album, which was like it put Santana kind of on the map for everyone, and it's a great album. It's got so many great songs on it, and it's still being bought and played on a daily basis, basically. So he does what he does, and he does it in an exceptional way. And he's using PRS guitars for ages now, and they every now and then they come out with a special model. And as a Santana fan, and I'm kind of digging what he does. That was my pick because I kind of think it's one of those limited editions that he could actually play on stage because of the the black gloss finish and the natural sides. It kind of it doesn't scream Santana at first glance. It's got some vibe to it, but it's not necessarily only Santana. So I was digging that model. What's your first impression?
Any prices on that? Sorry, first impressions. I love it. I'm not into PRS that much, but I think that's fantastic. I'd say I've played the 594 as one of the best guitars I've ever played. However, I'm in that camp of PRS has no soul. So they're so perfect guitars that I feel they're almost soulless. It doesn't mean they're not good. They just don't speak to me that much. But also, I'm not that much into Santana's music. However, I do like the odd song now and again. And whenever Smooth comes on, I'm down to rock and roll. And Black Magic Woman, I guess. But outside of those two, I'm pretty knowledgeless. But that guitar, you said they're doing 1,000.
Yeah. You can probably play Samba Partie on those better than any other guitar. I'm pretty sure about that.
I just think doing 1,000 of those in SE is going to open up to scalpers on Reverb.
Yeah, I've checked dealers, and these are already sold out widely.
Yeah, they're going to be on Reverb.com for straight away for twice. What is the price? Do you know?
I think like $650.
Yeah,
euros.
You're going to be spending $2,000 on that easily on Reverb.
Yeah. It's just one thing that I was a little bit like when I saw the initial pictures, and PRS is doing a great job on kind of capturing their instruments in a perfect lighting. And then I checked out a couple of reviews on YouTube, and the glossy finish didn't really appeal to me. So I was thinking, how about a black flat finish for that guitar? Wouldn't that look great?
Yeah, I'm all about my flat finishes. So if that were matte black,
I think that would add a little bit to it.
Yeah. So I'm the opposite to when companies do glossy things to make them look shiny and more expensive. I actually prefer them when they're matte. I think that looks better. It's a general thing for me, but I really like the cutaway. I think the way the cutaway, you see the top and the general PRS thing.
Yeah.
I think that really sells this guitar. It grabs the eye and then matches the headstock.
Yeah, perfectly. Yeah.
And are those black tuners? They are black tuners, right?
I think so. Yeah.
Oh, no, they're silver, but they're silver in that picture, and then they look very black and chromy in that. That would look better with black tuners, in my opinion.
Yeah, fully agreed. Matte black tuners.
Matte black tuners. Yeah. So, Paul, if you're listening, have a word with your people. Have a word with Santana, who makes each and every one of these guitars by hand. I like it. I don't love it, but I'm afraid that it's going to just get eaten up by scalpers, and then that's not fair.
Pretty sure about that.
Oh, I feel a little sad for it. Actually, I feel like I should have been more impressed.
It's a nice guitar. I mean, that's why I picked it. There have been plenty other guitars that I didn't choose, so it's quite a good release. It's not a bad release. It's just like there's potential to make it even sexier. And I think with adding different tuners and even with the pickup covers, imagine like black brushed pickup covers or something like that. I think that's a cool modding guitar. Would be a cool project.
Absolutely. Yeah. Important question from Valeria, Dan. What is your drink of choice today?
Oh, Valeria. Today I'm drinking a Starbucks Cafe Latte, and this is non-sponsored. But that's just my favorite iced coffee. I don't like hot coffee. And why are you laughing, Andy?
You and your coffees.
Me and my coffees, yeah. I like my coffees, and the occasional iced coffee kind of keeps me awake because I didn't sleep too well with all the car hassle or anything. So I kind of had to get some caffeine to still keep my eyes
I had
open.
a real coffee, a normal coffee. It's just as a lactose intolerant person, I'm probably just jealous, mate.
Oh, I didn't even remember.
Yeah,
How bad is it?
Bad enough that we probably shouldn't talk about it because the mic would pick it up. And as Valerius pointed out again, it is pumpkin spice latte season, my friend. Have all those you want.
They don't
sell
it. They don't sell those. They only have like cafe latte, a cappuccino, and I think vanilla. But vanilla is not sold in Germany. Here, Starbucks. Hello, Starbucks crew. Listen, I know you're watching the show and you're listening to the podcast. Please give us vanilla latte in the stores. I don't want to have to purchase it only at Starbucks. This needs to be a thing.
And I want soya. I want soya pumpkin spice, please. I've never had one for the fear of farting my way into November.
I think there would be a market, especially with all the season stuff that's being sold throughout Halloween and before. To sell that just for like 4 or 6 weeks and then stop it. So it gets that kind of scarcity that people wish for it every year. Man, we got to talk to Starbucks. Can you remind me to call Mr. Starbucks later?
Yeah, absolutely. I want to pick some stuff. Can I pick some stuff?
Absolutely, please.
Andy's Pick of the Week.
Still makes me crack up. I have chosen this, the Boss RC600 Loop Station. I used to be big time into looping back in the day when I lost all my friends to be in bands with. Some might say I was doing it way before Ed Sheeran was doing it and just after Katie Tunstall was doing it. So basically I saw Katie Tunstall doing it with an Akai head rush, and it blew my mind and had to do it straight away and learned how to do it. And that was a delay pedal. It wasn't actually looper. So it's before all the looping came out. And ever since I've been addicted to looping. And I don't do it that much on the channel, but in my personal playing time, I do it all the time. And I love it. I have the RC1 from Boss. I have I have about 10 loopers. I have the Ditto Plus. That's amazing from TC. The RC, is it 300 or RC10? The one with the drummer in it. And they did the RC330. The RC30 has the XLR mic in as well. This is the RC600 with super level bells and whistles.
Fill us in. What bells and whistles?
I will fill you in. Firstly, if you're listening to the audio version, it's got many, many buttons and a big screen and a big old HAL-looking computer circle. You've got, I'll throw some specs at you. It's got 99 memories, which is a lot, and most of which I wouldn't use. But each one has 6 phrase tracks, so you can have 6 loops going within one memory. So you can record like a bass, a vocal, drums, and then 3 nose flutes. It'd be amazing. Then you can. The good thing, this one's got effects on it. So it's got 49 input effects along with 53 track effects. So I don't know what the difference are between those two things, but I guess you can have the input effects going on just the instrument you're going on that phrase, and then the track effects can be on the whole thing, maybe like a reverb or something like that. 200 onboard rhythms, 16 drum kits to choose from that will synchronize with your loop. A pair of XLR mic inputs, both with phantom power, 2 stereo line input pairs, and 3 stereo assignable line output pairs. It's insane. So you could route this to a bass amp and a PA and a guitar amp, so you could have different things coming out of different amps. You could put in a keyboard and a guitar and vocals and a bass, or a mix from a mixer. This thing is seriously cool for its input and output options. I'm very, very excited by this.
Do you have an image of the back? It's just like hilarious how many inserts you got there.
Yeah, I will. Hang on. Well, not that one. Oh, it's up the top. I don't have a picture of the back. Hang on.
I think that will do. I mean, I think the design is pretty cool. It looks like it's been taken just straight from the DeLorean, from Back to the Future. Do you think it's rather easy to be used because it looks complicated, and sometimes over engineering can be kind of more an hindrance to the actual process of creating stuff?
Firstly, I totally agree with you, and that's why I had the RC50,
Okay.
which was the one with the expression pedal, and for me, that was kind of this, but without what I feel will be the usability that you're talking about here, because I couldn't get on. I couldn't loop. I couldn't be a musician with the RC50 or 500, I think it was. It was felt like I was trying to control this thing rather than make music with it. So I was just getting a picture of the back. There's the back there. This one,
I want to.
if they've taken the user menu from the RC300, which is the latest one with the drum one. The 200. So many RCs. Sorry, I'm talking rubbish. You're probably very frustrated with me now. But that basically the screen and the input menu and all the functionality has come from the other new models, and they've just made the new models bigger with more connectivity. And I think that's the key to this being new. It's not just look what it can do. It's also a case of look how easy it is to use.
It's like 17 input or output jacks on the back alone.
Plus, it's insane. And also, I recommend you watch the official Boss promo video, because the guy, the musician playing in that, is insanely good. And he plays like an electric drum. He sings. He plays bass and guitar, saxophone, some percussion. It's really, really, really good. Really entertaining. It's not like a product demo. It's a really good piece of music.
What's the price point for the RC600?
I don't know. I didn't care. No, it's about 500 quid, something like that. It's not cheap. But it could well be so £500, about 600 euros, something like that. It could well be the one looper that you need. But for many players, it's too much.
Yeah. I think it looks amazing. It probably has everything you would ever need. But to me personally, I feel like that the majority of guitar players kind of needs a more like a plug and play approach with their pedals, because do you usually like want to read hours in manuals and kind of configure everything? I'm a little bit skeptical if it might be just like a prestigious, like convenient catch-all kind of thing that can do everything, but you don't necessarily need all that stuff. I feel the same with my Strymon timeline. I mean, this thing can probably beam you from Innsbruck to Nuremberg or something, but I don't need that. I just need a very subtle ambient sound and delay and stuff like that, and it's a little bit over-engineered to some degree. So yeah, but
I agree. I think the sort of answer to what we're both talking about here is, if you just need a looper to add some stuff in your bedroom or on stage or whatever, and you're just playing a Ditto looper or the Ditto Plus, I should say, is my best choice. It's micro format. It does enough. And then a slightly step up is one with a start and a stop as well. This RC600 is if you want to make an act out of looping. It's if you want to loop as your act, not just sort of add it to a rig and, here's a bit of looping. This is the main brain of your act. But I have to try it. But having tried the other one in this series, the 200, if it's the same menu, which it must be, it's well improved over the 500. So I haven't spoken to Boss about it yet, but I might do.
All right. Yeah, I would love to see like an extended review and see you kind of try out all the options that this pedal brings about. But coming back, but coming back to your initial story about Katie Tunstall and Ed Sheeran, wasn't Ed Sheeran using a RC30 himself?
Absolutely.
Yeah. So rather like simplistic pedal compared to that one.
Yeah. So back in the day, I think it was 2008, I had a mic and a guitar going into a mixer, which was then subrouted into guitar effects, and then the whole mix was running through the delay pedal, which was running as a looper, and then back out into the mixer, into the front of house. which is basically when I turned up to shows and there was a sound guy, he would just laugh at me. And say, no, can't you just give me the guitar and the vocal mic signal? I'm like, no, because this is my act. What are you doing with it? I'm looping. What's looping? Oh, I don't know really, but it's fun. Yeah. So now you just don't know how easy you've got it these days, Dan. You don't know how easy.
I hear you. You know what? This thing actually reminds me of the Kemper remote. It looks a lot like the Kemper remote.
Yeah.
The layout and everything.
I like the little silver metal strip as a sort of safety foot switch thing, because
that's cool.
If you're off doing things with looping, you're probably not looking at where your feet are.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah.
And you want to start.
I'm excited about it. I can't really talk about it anymore. I haven't played it, but I think that's a welcome addition to the world of loopers. And if you are a looper artist, this should make you very excited.
Cool thing.
Okay, I've got one more pick, and then I think we're going to do our buy, borrow, or burn, and then talk to our artist. Here we go.
Yes.
The next thing is this, and there's a video on screen that I can't use the audio from for want of getting told off, but it is the Manson Delorean guitar. So being Back to the Future, of course, it excites me. You know, being the reason I thought guitar was cool the first time. But the promo they've done for this with Matt Bellamy from Muse and the boss of Manson Guitars, it's insane. Go and check out Manson's Instagram. They've got it's basically a reproduction of Matt Bellamy's guitar that he calls the DeLorean.
All right.
However, Manson are calling it the DL-0R or OR. Bridge humbucker, P90 in the neck. It's got a ZVEX fuzz factory and an MXR Phase 90 built into it. Toggle, kill switch. It's made of aluminium, or it's got an aluminium finish, sorry. I don't know if it is aluminium. Probably not. I didn't check that out. But I just saw the DeLorean in the promo stuff, and it just got me there.
Sold.
Yeah. However,
I got a confession to make.
Sorry, yeah.
I got a confession to make in the video. When I first saw the trailer, I thought, is that Captain Anderton sitting there?
Yeah, that happens a lot apparently, and I didn't think the same thing, but I could see how you could think that.
I'm sorry. Sorry, Cap.
Yeah, it's going to be quite expensive.
Yeah. Is that like custom shop level?
Well, it's going to be sort of 3,000 euros level. So
okay.
Yeah, I believe so. It's I mean, it's a replica of Matt Bellamy's custom Manson. And I could go into all the nerdy stuff about all the dates that are mentioned in the Back to the Future style video, but I'll just briefly talk about them. There's a close-up on the screen right now, so you can see that it's a Gibson-style tunematic bridge with all the switches that you need to activate the inbuilt fuzz. So it's a guitar with fuzz. There's times on the screen, and the time is represented by the time computer from the DeLorean.
Nice.
And the time at the top is February the 2nd, 2001, which is when Matt Bellamy ordered or received his guitar from Manson. So that was the destination time. So the whole premise of the video is he's going back to that time to get that guitar and bring it to the present time, which is October 26th, 2021, which is the release date of the guitar.
All right.
And then
Spoiler
as for
alert.
October... Yeah, it's clever. And then October 29, 2016, I'm not sure what that refers to. I've forgotten. I was, again, too excited by the DeLorean. Oh, hang on. No, it's the reissue of the Manson DL1. Okay.
What is
so there
that?
was a
What was
reissue
that?
in that date.
What was the DL1?
I don't know. Don't put me on the spot like that. I gave you the wink, which was...
I'm sorry.
Don't ask me the question. No, it's the court... hang on, the Manson DL1. It's the Matt Bellamy reissue. Okay. Just looking on Reverb and riffing as we... 4,400 euros. Okay,
Wow.
so that was...
But it looked
that was the...
similar.
That was this guitar before.
All right, looks similar with the P90 in the neck position and the
I think it's the
humbucker in
same
pitch
guitar.
position. All right, so it's a reissue of a reissue.
Reissue of a custom order.
Oh, what was that, a one-off, or was that just
Yeah.
available per custom shop? All right, okay.
Yeah, it was Matt Bellamy's guitar with the built-in stuff.
All right.
Yeah, so
Well,
I
I
don't
like
know if I
the
dig
promo.
the guitar. I dig the promo more than I dig the guitar, if I'm honest. And I'd love to play the guitar, just to play a guitar with a built-in fuzz, because they're always cool.
Do you know,
But yeah.
does the chord version also comes with built-in effects, or is it just like the plain guitar with a similar shape and some similarities?
I've seen a chord version which is a similar shape, and it doesn't have the built-in effects. I'm not saying there isn't one
Okay.
that doesn't. Hang on, I'm not saying there isn't one that doesn't exist. That's weird. I should probably go and learn some English. I'm not saying that there isn't one that doesn't exist. Yeah, I think that's right.
Oh, now, okay, now it's getting complicated.
There's
but
a lot of
yeah.
negatives in there. I am saying I don't know if there is one that exists. That's a correct sentence.
All right, now I'm confused. There you
You and me both, brother. Right, let's do some buying, some borrowing, and some ore burning.
Buy, borrow, or burn.
go.
Right. People in the chat, let us know what you will buy, what you will borrow, what you will burn. The rules are: you must buy something, you must borrow something, you must burn something. There are 4 things this week, meaning that you must ignore something. Last week there were lots of people aligning the buy, borrow, or burns. It was pretty much the same thing for everybody. So this week, Dan, I'd like you to guess mine, if that's okay. First.
All right. Let's just recap for everyone who kind of came to the show
Yeah.
later than when we started. So we started with the Ibanez Iceman ukuleles. Then we had the PRS Abraxas 50th anniversary SE. Then we had the Boss RC. Help me, 400, 500, 5, what?
6.
Tell me,
600.
600. And now we have the Matt Bellamy guitar that we have barely any specs of, but with a super cool promo.
DL0R, the DeLorean.
The DeLorean. Okay. So I think you would go for the ukulele because it would look ridiculous on you, and you would like to try that out. So you would buy that, and it's rather inexpensive. You would probably borrow the Manson just to kind of try the fuzz and get some of the Back in the Future vibes. And you would probably burn not the Boss. I think you probably burn the SE because you've played other SE guitars and you already know how they sound and feel. How close is that?
100%. Straight top of the class.
Damn.
Got it in
There you
one.
go.
However, deliberating between borrowing the Boss and borrowing the Manson was very difficult for me. But I if they could add another one, I'd like Boss to send me one so I can review it and test it out. That's not technically borrowing or buying. I'd like that to be my job, please. That's my job section. But yeah, absolutely. So well done. Congratulations. Hang on a second. We never get to hear this, so I thought I'd throw it in.
Yeah.
Throw some positivity in. Dan, may I guess for you, sir? Before I do guess for you, let's go to the chat and see what the people in the chat are doing. Valeria would buy the Iban uke. She would borrow the Boss because she wants to get loopy and burn the Santana PRS. Okay.
Oh, okay.
Sarang would buy the Manson, borrow the Ibanez ukulele, and burn the Boss Lupus Maximus.
That's a nice name.
Lupus Maximus. I'm gonna start a Guitar Stories podcast line of pedals. We're gonna call it something the Lupus Maximus, but it's only gonna have one knob. Lupus Minimus. Jason Carter would buy the Ibanez uke, borrow the DeLorean guitar, and burn the looper. Ukulele Wells would buy the Iceman ukulele, unsurprisingly, borrow the RC600 looper and burn the DeLorean. Fergie in France, burn the looper. He's gone for the burn first. It's too much busyness. Yes. Borrow the DeLorean, too dear to buy. Buy the PRS and relic it to remove the Santana decal. Nice.
Nice.
Johnny Guitarist would just burn the looper. No information about anything else, just that. Thanks, Johnny.
Straight to the point, yeah.
I like that. No messing around. Alexis Guitar would buy the Iceman uke, borrow the Manson, burn the looper. Nothing against the looper, just don't need anything that sophisticated. Artie Smudge, buy an Ibanez, borrow the RC 5 million, burn the Manson, go back in time and get another one. I like it. Jason Carter has got a good joke. If you combine the Santana PRS and the Manson, would you get a DeLorean? I like it. Music theory jokes.
Yeah.
All right, now I'm going to guess for Dan.
All right.
I think you would also buy the Ibanez ukulele because it's great and you could probably get a fairly decent price, and you have children that would definitely use that a lot and it would look cool on you.
Mm-hmm.
I think you would borrow the Santana PRS, and I think you would burn the looper.
Yep. Yeah. I'm pretty undecided about the DeLorean. Plus, I think if you would try to burn the guitar, it would just like reappear because it can travel through time, right?
Exactly. It burns cold.
Yep. There you go.
Yeah.
So, yeah. I mean, I try out the Santana. Probably not too excited, but maybe modded or something like that. But the ukulele is cheap, and the Boss Looper, I'm not interested in all that. So yeah, 100%. Great job.
Yeah, the Boss Looper, you need to really have that as your main rig. I'm not making excuses for it. I feel I understand it.
Yeah.
I love my Ditto Plus anyway. Okay, we're going to bring in a guest, Dan. Would you like to tell us a little bit about the guest before we bring him in?
Absolutely. So for episode 52. Sorry?
Bit of backstory.
Yeah, exactly. Episode 52 brings us Manuel Gardner Fernandes, who is a guitar player and songwriter in Unprocessed. And I have the privilege to also be able to work with him because he's an Ibanez artist. He, I think, has one of the fastest picking hands in history. We sometimes call it the colibri hand because it's so fast. He's got a great voice. He's a cool dude. We already shot a couple videos here at the Ibanez headquarters. And I felt it was about time to kind of have him on the show because he and his band just released a great new album, I guess, and a song basically called Rain. And I definitely want to hear everything about how the riff got, how the riff developed, how the song developed, about the great artwork that they are using, and about a couple, happenings in the past that could have, had an influence on his career or how he dealt with it, because we all Guitar Stars podcast, we also want to talk about, what's going on behind the scenes, what's going on in people's minds. And I think, Manu has been through a couple ups and downs already. So I'm intrigued to hear, what his recipe is to always keep his head above water. So without further ado, shall we welcome Manuel?
Manuel, welcome.
Hello.
Hi. Hang on a minute. I need to press some buttons. There we go.
Hey, what's up?
Hey. It's all good. Where are you right now, Manuel?
Right now, I'm in my studio / apartment, and I'm in Germany, my hometown, chilling and writing the record.
Good. I've got to start off by saying I heard the track Rain today, and it is awesome. And I recognize the riff from previous release from you, and we're going to get into it, and I'm going to get you to explain it all. But the video, the track, it's a beautiful piece of music set to a really arty video, and it's really nice to see that. I feel I'm missing that in the music scene at the moment, some art in videos. Or maybe I'm not reaching it enough, but it was really enjoyable to watch.
Thank you so much. Yeah, I couldn't tell it better. Like, there's a lack of art in music right now. When it comes to progressiveness, I'm not saying that music nowadays is shit. like it's the opposite. I think music nowadays is like pretty nice, but the art thing is definitely something that is missing right now.
Mm-hmm. And Dan said that you were releasing an album. Is it an album what was as well? I haven't reached any further than that track, which I've watched about 3 times.
Oh no, we just released 2 singles, Candyland and Rain. So, but there's like an album in the working.
Okay, cool.
Writing. Yeah. Oh, wait a sec. I think there's some echo that's also very obvious in on YouTube, Andy.
Yeah, I'm getting it as well. Maybe Manuel has some headphones you could pop on.
Yeah, sure. I can help with the headphones. No worries.
Awesome.
Cool.
Yeah.
Of course, if you've come to us via Manuel, then you have some questions, put them in the chat and we'll put them on screen. And certainly, if there are any good questions, we'll talk about them.
Super chats will help.
Super chat. Yeah.
Yeah. So Manuel is also very active on social media. I think you're spending quite a couple hours per week on YouTube with your members. How did that
sure.
come about?
I don't know. Like it all started with like Instagram in 2019, and it's a great start for like someone who want to be seen, you know. But I don't know. Like I had the feeling it's not for me, the whole Instagram game and TikTok, whatever. And I always felt more comfortable with doing YouTube and, you know, focusing on my band, focusing on just like the music thing in general.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I'm not the biggest social media guy, but so it's just like about making and producing. This is like the main focus for me to do this, you know. So yeah.
So with Rain, if we talk about that for a moment, that started off, I assume, as the riff from a video before, and then did you then build on that riff and then added a vocal line and you sing and everything? So can you tell us a little bit how Rain came to life?
Yeah, sure. So I think I posted Rain 2019, maybe August, maybe something like around summer. I'm pretty sure it was around summer, and yeah, I posted that riff the first time on Instagram, and then it kind of went viral on like, I don't know, multiple social medias like 9gag or Facebook or TikTok. Was TikTok a thing back then? I'm not quite sure, but something like that. So you know, I'm like we Unprocessed immediately knew that it should be a proper song, and we did that. But it took us 2 years to release that. But different story. So yeah, I don't know.
So took the writing process actually a bit longer, or was that fairly easy? Did that come together like more naturally, and you had a song in just a couple hours or days?
No, like the writing process was pretty easy because, you know, I just wanted to write I didn't want to completely destroy the vibe of it. And, you know, I just wanted to keep the guitar and, you know, some vocal lines and the atmosphere and the vibe in general. I didn't want to make it like full rock or full metal, whatever. Mm-hmm. So it was the songwriting process was pretty fast. We had the lyrics because I was sitting down with David in my room because we used to live together, and then we kind of wrote I mean, I told my story. It's like a love song. I told my story, and David wrote down the lyrics, and then we had the song.
Cool. David's the bass player in Unprocessed.
Yeah.
Just for everyone who's not aware of that. Yeah.
Cool. And
great.
So you said there was another story about like releasing. I want to know that story, the one that made you laugh. About between the riff and the song, or the finished track, I should say.
I mean, we had like, I don't know. We released Abandoned in 2019. We released the second record with a label, on 2019, and we were like a prog metal band, and we were pretty heavy. And then we had like this change going on. It was like 2020, and I don't know, like after we had like a place in the niche, like a place in the market in general, I would say. And we were like, yeah, should we continue doing this style of music again? And we were like, no. So it took us a while to actually find ourselves with the new music. So we signed to a new label. We signed to new live agencies. We went on tour. So it took us like 2 years to get there. And so this is like the story why I laughed so hard, because I don't know. I don't want to. I don't want to be in the position anymore where it's taking like 2 years to release a song after I wrote that, because now I'm thinking I could do better. And I think, but I think this is I think this is a common problem actually. Like every band you ask will say the same thing.
I think every artist, anyone creates anything. I mean, I have 2 kids. I wasn't very happy with the first one, so I made another one. And Dan, I'm sure I can say the same for you.
I heard it vice versa. I heard it the way they say, right, number 2, we're not making any good ones. We should stop right now.
No, but I understand with the art thing, like you move on. I don't know. I have no idea how like bands that tour an album for 2 years continue to do that, because people change and bands change and life changes, and yet you're still playing the same music until it breaks, and breaks in a good way, not breaks as in broken, but until people start listening. Maybe that's why I'm sat here now instead of actually being on tour somewhere. I don't have that attention span. I need to move quicker. So it's not something that appeals to me, but 2 years is a heck of a long time.
It is. And this is why we are bored of all like old music. Like if I would be in a band that is continuing doing the same music 10 years, I don't know, I wouldn't do this, to be honest, because I get bored like so fast.
And how do your fans react to that? Sorry, Dan.
Sorry?
How do your fans react to the changes?
Some people love it, some people don't love it. It's normal. It's just like about like building this horses to like a common goal. Maybe like, a few people don't like it and don't come to the shows anymore, but there will be like new people that they will come and say, wow, where are these guys and who are these guys? I want to see them. So I don't know.
Dan,
also, you have no worries. You mentioned earlier that it's all pretty artsy, and I think this might also be some sort of means for you to kind of to have that variance and then that change from every now and then, to kind of refocus and not only be stuck with playing certain songs live and only be reduced to just like the track, but there's so much more to the overall project of Unprocessed. What was that like very obvious for you guys from the very beginning, that you didn't just want to be a band but also wanted to be like an art project with music videos and with with an appearance that kind of stands out from the plethora of bands that are out there?
Yeah, maybe in the first years, but now it was like, I don't know, like I don't know, like it was never a thing to be okay. So we were never like a band that said, okay, we want to do something completely different than other bands. At first, we just wanted to play shows. That was the first idea behind everything.
Yeah.
But it just made sense for us to, have maybe special artworks, special music videos, because the music it was progressive metal and everything was kind of dark and melancholic and vibey. And, I don't know, like, and now with Candyland and with Rain, like the music is a bit more, I would say, easy to understand, kind of. I don't know. So why not the music videos? Why not having like in the music videos maybe like more colors and more, I don't know, like a story that everyone feels and everyone can understand, like Rain. You know, like Rain is a love song. Everyone has like a story to tell when it comes to love. So why not tell it in the music video? Yeah.
All right. Yeah.
How involved were you as a band with the production of the video? Was it all done together, and do you have like some arty friends, or was it made by a production company?
Oh, 100%. Like when you're talking about Rain, right?
I'm talking about Rain. Yes, sorry.
Yeah, 100%. So we have like a crew of friends, you know. Actually, like our camera guy, he's the same guy as like we did the first music video in 2015. And
Wow.
you know, like it's insane. And he lives in Berlin, so we are shooting most of the times in Berlin, which is quite shitty because it's cold and gray and huge. And every time I'm like, I hate this to my guts, but different story.
I love Berlin.
And oh, really? I mean, it's fun, you know. Like, I think it's fun when you're like doing parties and get drunk outside. But you know, like working there and drive to like the from B to A, it's just like always 45 minutes. It is always 45 minutes. I don't know why. It's just like I hate it. Okay, so yeah, but like we are all friends, you know. Leo, who is doing my videos, he did my videos. He now moved to Berlin. This piece of shit. But yeah, he did my YouTube videos, and I think he was the main producer of the music video. And you know, I had some visions. David had some visions, and you know, everyone is involved. Yeah, definitely.
I guess that to me, just to talk about Berlin for a moment, that's the feeling I get when I visit, is that it's kind of punky and dirty, but everyone's kind of in the dirt together. And
Yeah.
rather than staying
Yeah.
clean and staying away from each other, like where I'm from, people are there in that muck and that blood and that dirt and that beer, and somehow from this mess comes beautiful art, and not just talking music, but art as well, art. And that's why I like Berlin, but we can argue about that another day. I don't live there.
So Andy, you're saying Berlin is the mosh pit of Germany, right?
That's exactly the armpit of Germany. Yes,
the armpit. That's what you said.
I mean, I would give it a try. I mean, maybe I would go there with like no music video production in the background and just like party with my friends, and maybe I'll change my mind. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe.
Jason Carter is saying Stuttgart is where it's all happening. I think that's where Jason's
yeah, actually,
living.
I heard that actually. Like Stuttgart is the next cool LA in Germany.
Wow. Okay. Well, time to pack my bags. How far is Stuttgart? Pretty far. It's a long commute.
I was there like maybe a few years ago, because my ex-girlfriend lived there. But I was like there maybe like 3-4 times. I don't know. But it was cool. Like the city is super nice. But I'm like more the small town boy. Actually, I don't like big cities. I don't know.
Okay.
But isn't it Mannheim also like one of the places because of the Pop Academy and all that?
Oh, Mannheim is freaking dirty. Holy moly.
Like, yeah, I mean,
Mannheim's
from a music perspective, not necessarily from what you get to see there, but when it comes to like active musicians.
Yeah, it could be. Like I was never a session guy. I never did like sessions with different musicians from Pop Academy.
Okay.
I was the lazy guy there.
What's your favorite place in the world, Manuel?
Oh, I don't know. I'm way too young to answer this question. But like from now.
Yeah.
Actually, the place where my dad lives. He lives in close to Locarno. It's at the Lago Maggiore, like in the Italian Swiss. Yeah, it's paradise.
Sounds
It's really
clean.
paradise. It's like every continent like every good aspect of every continent in one place. You got like the sea, you got the mountains, you got like everything, beaches. Crazy.
I'm not far from Switzerland. I have to write this down. What was it called?
Locarno.
Locarno.
Locarno. Yeah. At the Lago Maggiore. It's crazy. It's really crazy.
All right. So next vacation is already pre-booked.
Lago Maggiore sounds like a Star Wars place, so that's why I want to go there.
Yeah, hit me up if you're there.
I will. Have a
Sick.
shower and come down.
Yeah.
Can we talk gear, please? I know that you have some guitars around you, and I'm sure that people that know you and have heard your songs would love to know what gear you use to get your tones. So, your rig, what does it mainly consist of?
It's underwhelming. No, I'm serious. I'm serious. Like a lot of people ask me what gear I use, and they get the answer, and it's like always underwhelming because it's actually my guitar and Ableton in the most cases. Because I'm not the biggest pedal guy, and I never used pedals actually. Yeah, I know. I'm kind of the only guitarist in the world that don't own pedals. I mean, I own 3 pedals now.
Okay,
but
a tuner, a backup tuner.
No, actually, a reverb, a compressor, and a booster. Yeah.
All right. Okay.
But okay, so for example, what I did with Rain is it's not only Ableton. It was kind of kidding, a little bit kidding. No, so Rain was that guitar. Wait a second. It was that guitar, Ibanez AZ, and it was Ableton. One sec. And it was Neural DSP, the Archetype Pliny. I used the reverb for Rain, and what I do is to get this sparkling effect is I duplicate my performance or the track I performed and pitch it 1 octave up. And in Ableton, there's this super nice, weird effect where you can play with the actual performance and the envelopes of this pitch shifting system. And you can get like a lo-fi kind of destroyed tone out of it. So if you play with it, it sounds like a very analog recording which is broken.
All right.
Yeah, so I used that, and funny story to Rain is I totally I lost the project where I recorded the original version of Rain.
Oh wow.
But I didn't want to record it again. So what I did is I downloaded the version from Instagram. So a really bad recording. This is why it is so grainy in the beginning.
All right. Okay.
Yeah.
That's fantastic.
that is art. Just the approach you've taken so far. That's very arty. I like that.
Yeah, it's probably the least guitaristic way of doing that kind of things, but I don't know.
I don't think so at all. I think that's wonderful. I also don't find it underwhelming. I would have been more underwhelmed had you said, yeah, I used a TS10 with the Keeley compressor and a Fender Deluxe reverb. You know, that would have been like, okay, that's very boring. But the things you've just said is a different world to what I do, and that opens up a new idea for me. I don't have the time to explore that, and I won't do it, but I at least know that the Pliny stuff from Neural DSP is wonderful, and
like
the
in general,
method you just
Neural
described
DSP
is interesting.
Yeah, in general, like Neural DSP is wonderful. You know, this is, and you know, like now, 2 years later, I'm using amps again, which is so nice because I'm like the biggest fan of amps. I wasn't, but I'm now because I can kind of appreciate everything more because I know stuff now. I don't know. So I'm using Synergy amps with like mostly the TDLX module. It's like you can get it like a nice clean sound and a nice like distorted, like small distorted sound, like the typical Strat distorted kind of sound out of it. And I combine it with the Cod Cortex that Neural DSP kindly sent me over just for the effects, which is super nice. Yeah.
I have like a question for. May I ask how old you are at first? You can give us a rough age or a true age.
Yeah, 25.
25. Damn you. Okay, so there's a kind of thing that I've been thinking about that many young guitar players start with software rather than amp, because you buy a guitar that's already a lot of money to invest in a hobby, and then I've got a Mac, I've got Logic, and that was $200, and it comes with some okay amps and pedals and stuff like that. Did you start with software? Or did you start with an amp? And what's your history with gear?
I started with a Behringer amp, like the smallest little thing, without like any effects. I just had distorted and clean. And I started playing at a very young age. I started playing at like 3 or 4 years old with my way too huge guitar, and was always in front of Metallica recordings, and I just always wanted to learn every Metallica song. I was like, I think at the age of 10 or 12, like I learned every Metallica history song ever. And that was always like my goal. And it was like into Pantera, Iron Maiden, later like the whole new metal kind of thing, and later like then gent and prog metal. And but yeah, I always used like this shitty amp till 2012, where I got my I know. No, wait a second. No, this is total bullshit right here. I had a Marshall amp.
All right.
I had a Marshall amp.
Much more decent.
Before I got my Ableton.
Mm-hmm.
And then I got into production, and then I spent more time doing productions and mixing and mastering kind of things instead of playing guitar. So yeah.
How did the connection to Ableton come about? Was there someone who kind of introduced you to that stuff? Because that doesn't come naturally to someone.
Yeah, my stepfather, he introduced me into like the whole recording system,
Wow.
I was 2012. I was maybe 15 or 16 years old. Mm-hmm. And so he bought Ableton, and I had like no plugins or whatever. So yeah, I don't know. I started directly to produce the first Unprocessed record ever, which sounds like a demo, but it's on Spotify. You can actually listen to my first produced thing ever on Spotify, which is amazing. Because the record is like the record is from like 2014. It was like my first test mix kind of thing. This is why we are always saying, I'm not quite sure if it's like the second or like the third record of all time by Unprocessed, because it doesn't feel like it, because it's like a demo, but it's like a full length record. Why not? But
Is it on Spotify under Unprocessed, or is it under you?
No, Unprocessed, yeah.
And when was the point where you kind of developed that kind of very specific tone that you're known for, which is rather not unprocessed, but very, very, very pinpointed towards certain notes and certain resonances and that kind of vibe that it also conveys? Was there like a point where you kind of figured out, wow, that's a cool tone, that's very modern but still edgy? How did that come about?
Yeah. It was during that time. It was like 2015 to 2014. It was like I always had this, this right hand playing style distorted, and suddenly I was like, why not doing it clean? So I started tracking DI tracks, and I was like, okay, this is so cool, because I think this electric guitar sounds like an acoustic guitar with DI only effects. It's like it because you only mainly hear the strings.
Sure.
So I kept it that way, just put on compression and a reverb. And I remember like a member, actually, like a YouTube member, sent me a video, me playing on a Gibson guitar, 2015, where I put my first clip ever on Facebook in 2015. And it was the Covenant riff. Covenant is the official first record by Unprocessed.
2018, right?
Yeah, it was written in 2015, but it was like the clean version. And later it was like more brutal, but So yeah, I don't know. Like, even if I did like the whole Instagram thing in 2019, I did that in 2014 and 15. So yeah, this is where I started, like the whole percussive kind of thing.
So where does that right hand come from? Because I've been trying to work on my right hand, and I can't. I don't know. There's no comparison. But what players did you come from to get to this style? Did you take from other places, or was it just something you started doing?
I think like the first movements were inspired by, I don't know, like I watched a lot of James Hetfield's performances, and he's doing downstrokes only all the time. And then I watched Tosin Abasi doing this thumping thing in 2000, maybe 10, 11, which is right hand focused. Then I watched like John Brown from Monuments, and he has like a very insane right hand, but doing this mainly like a distorted. And then I was like really big into the whole flamenco kind of thing, and like they are doing this with like not a pick, and I was trying to copy that with a pick, and it sounded kind of muddy because I was doing it with like ups and downstrokes. So I started doing this with downstrokes only, and it sounded better. Yeah.
Can you briefly show us? Would that be possible? Could we hear that to kind of get that difference?
I hope the video connection is steady, but sure. Is this good?
Yeah,
Sounds
perfect.
Great. It looks great.
So yeah, basically right hand stuff is something like this. So it's like basically, I don't know, like what I do most of the time is like this down, down, up thing, like this. And I don't know, like it just came naturally, actually. It just was there at a point.
That's really. It sounds like a paradiddle, that the drummers do.
Yeah.
And I was trying to pick that up when you were playing. Like, it's very. Also, being percussive, it's very drumming focused. But I was trying to figure out stupidly what you were doing, and now you just saying that it's down, down, up makes absolute sense. So if anyone's watching or listening to this, that for me that's just opened up a big world of at least how to approach that. And you coming from James Hetfield of all people, I thought you were going to say something like Niles Rodgers or something like that, some kind of funk influence. But to come from James Hetfield, that's insane.
Yeah. Definitely.
Someone in the chat just said it's like marrying flamenco with metal, which basically is what you're doing, right?
Yeah, marrying flamenco with metal and doing it in a clean version at the start. Yeah, that's the main idea behind it. And maybe like you just said it, like I love drums, and I loved gospel chops, and I always tried to imitate fill-ins but just playing it with a guitar. It's basically just like drum fill-ins all the time. Like when I play licks, I don't know. It's just like small drum fill-ins in between. So yeah, I don't know.
I was thinking about this when you said you got bored easily earlier, because it sounds like that's, you know, you need to almost amuse yourself as a player. And I mean that totally as a compliment. Totally as a compliment. Rather than me, I would rather sit back and, you know, relaxedly get to the next chord. But I can see from your personality that you're really trying to get as much in there. And from that kind of analysis, what I love about Rain, the recorded track, is it's really busy, but when you're singing and playing this riff at the same time, it's not crowded. There's a lot going on, but everything sits so beautifully together, and I think that's an amazing production accomplishment.
Thank you. Yeah, maybe it's why, because, you know, like Rain is a pretty technical riff, but on the same side, it's not, you know, because it's actually something you are used to hear on the radio, but not with the guitar. That's the thing, you know, like imagine remember the Alicia Keys song? I'm not quite sure what it is, but it starts like with a piano arpeggio, which kind of sounds like Rain. Something like this. Something like that.
Okay.
And it's just like, you know, like a piano arpeggio, but it's just like dealing with harmonics and guitar. So it's something you are actually used to hear on the radio, but it's not, you know, not played by not played by guitar. I don't know.
What always strikes me whenever you play is how resonant everything is. You've got a very, very clean and very precise way of playing that stuff. It's very articulated, and even without using an amp, it kind of, you know, jumps into our faces. It's very, very articulated and very resonant. So that's. I mean, it's one thing to kind of have that approach, but also something to pull that off in such a clean way. You know, sometimes I call you like the what's it called, like the one take wonder, because you're always like spot on when it comes to that. And I think that's also quite an achievement over the course of the last couple of years, to be that precise and spot on with the playing.
Yeah, this is something I, you know, practice a lot, because I always say this, like, to guitarists in general, or like to every artist or like musician. You know, I think the key, like for me personally, doesn't have to be like with every musician, but for me the key was to always record myself and to always, you know, be on the grid, you know, because I don't play music like, I don't know, you know, funk or jazz, where you kind of have to be like a bit like after or like before. It was always like for my, you know, for like the prog metal kind of thing, it was like always on grid, you know, everything had to be perfect, like nearly like a robot, which is not my intention anymore, but it was back then. So yeah, maybe it was because of that time. Yeah.
So what's your intention now? What's changed?
The perfect side of things changed, you know, because to play everything on grid or to play everything perfect, it's not vibey, you know. If you listen to Rain, for example, like after the second bar, the riff kind of falls apart before the grid, because it makes more sense with the drumming and with the vocals, because nothing is on time. I think more as a producer now than like a someone who always wants to play tight.
Okay.
And is the playing tight, is that a personal thing, or is it like a pressure, an external pressure from like being on social media and being a modern musician and being young and growing up in an era where things are more perfected than they were?
Could be. For me personally, it's not that thing, because I never felt like pressure to perform perfect in a way, but it was maybe a common thing because we are used, or I was used to listen to perfect recordings all the time. So maybe that's the case. Could be.
Sure. I just it reminds me, and this your situation reminded me of when I recorded an EP in 2013, and I did my performance of singing, and I did so many takes, and then I stayed up all night putting it on the pitch grid, using whatever pitch program I was using at the time, Auto-Tune or something, just knocking off those little cents. Not so it was always perfect, but certainly spending hours with those notes. And then I finally got some sleep, and I woke up the next day, and the rest of the band came in, and they said, "What have you done?" It didn't sound robotic. It didn't sound like Cher, but there was no life to it. There was no, as you said, it was less vibey. And I certainly felt a pressure to be not perfect, but certainly within certain tolerances. And I've gone past that now. I even enjoy singing under the notes. It sort of grabs the ear. But it's a very dangerous world we live in right now musically, because as you said at the beginning of this conversation, there's less art than there was. And for me, it feels like the requirement to create